Good morning, students. I am Rekha Sangwan, your computer teacher. Hope all of you are fine. From today, we are starting our computer classes. We are starting from first chapter, that is computer virus. In this chapter, we learn about computer virus, types of viruses, examples of viruses, source of viruses, and how to prevent from viruses. So, almost all of you have heard about computer virus. The full form of computer virus is Vital Information Resource under SIES. Basically, computer virus is an unwanted program in our computer that can damage our data, our hard disk, our operating system. So basically this computer virus do not generate by chance. It is a programmer which is called virus author which generate the virus. Intentionally it writes virus programs that motivate to damage data or programs residing in the computer. So the next topic is computer virus. Four types of computer viruses are there. Those are file infector, boot sector, executable file virus, and macro virus. So now we'll read one by one. First is file infector. Basically, file infector virus affects any of the file that can be executable file also. When we open the program that is infected with the virus, it can damage or destroy that particular program permanently also. The next is boot sector virus. Boot sector virus, booting is called basically starting a program or our computer. When we start our computer, it takes some time to start up. That is called booting process. So basically boot sector virus infects our booting system, like it can damage our startup instruction, and it is very dangerous because it can totally destroy the operating system. Next is our executable file virus. Executable file means when we open any program, we are opening that executable file. For example, if we are opening MS Word, then that is the executable file for MS Word. Next is macro virus. So macro virus is basically that virus that contains some macros. These are the mini programs. So basically they are performing one by one, and it seems that is a single action. Next topic is examples of viruses. So basically we are having some types of viruses: worms, Trojan horse, rootkit, sweeper, sleeper, Alabama, logic bomb, Christmas virus, adware, and spyware. So now we'll read them one by one. First one is our worm. Basically, worm is a type of virus that replicates itself. It means it increases itself automatically. It basically works on the back end. We are opening our computer, we are doing our work, but it doesn't see us. We can't see that worm, but it replicates itself. When we come to know about this worm, we can see so many files of the same name. Next one is Trojan horse. Trojan horse is a very dangerous program. It is a hidden program. We cannot easily identify this Trojan horse, but the common means of infection is attachment of mail. It spreads through the mail basically. Next one is rootkit. Rootkit is a program that is hidden, we can't see that, and allows someone from remote location to take full control of the computer. Like we are using our computer, but our computer's control is on someone another's hand. Next is sweeper. Sweeper is basically a fake antivirus. Like it seems like it is a antivirus, but basically that is a sweeper. So basically we have to purchase or we have to use a authorized, or you can say licensed software for antivirus. Next topic is sleeper. Sleeper basically steals our information and it gives that information to some third party. Next is Alabama. It infects our executable files. I told you executable files are like if we are opening MS Word, that is executable file. So basically it infects our executable file and it corrupts that whole program. Next is logic bomb. The name seems bomb. It is just like real word landmine. Like in landmine, while some person put the leg on that mine, then it is getting activated. In the same manner, logic bomb, when it is activating, then that means the program affected by that particular virus is getting activated. Next is our Christmas virus. So as the name indicates, Christmas virus. It comes like this type of messages: Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. So it spreads basically through the emails. So many names and so many extensions can be there. So we have to be very particular while opening these types of files. Next topic is adware. As the name indicates, adware. It is unwanted advertisements. Like while browsing the internet, we can see so many types of pop-ups menus, and in the sidebar we can see so many advertisements. So all these unwanted advertisements are called adware. Next is spyware. Again, the name indicates spyware. It spies the activities of our computer and it sends the same information to some outside source. It can be on the computer or on the mobile also. The next one is sources of viruses. So basically from where viruses comes, there are three types of sources: email, internet download, and distribution of software. Suppose we have purchased a new computer and we have not connected that computer through the internet, or we are not exchanging any type of information, like we are not using CD or DVD. So virus cannot come on our computer. Basically virus comes through the internet or either by exchanging of information. In internet it can be through the email also. Already we have discussed some types of mail can contain viruses. So if we are opening those emails, then our computer can get affected from the virus. Next is internet download. So basically while surfing the internet, or suppose we are downloading some games or some songs on some another program, so basically with those files also virus can come. Next is distribution of software. Like if we are exchanging our information through the CD or DVD, so that computer can contain virus. So by using that CD or DVD or pen drive or any removable you can say device like mobile also, so our computer can get affected from the virus. Next topic is malware. So like hardware is a common term used for all types of physical components for computer. Malware is a term used for all types of unwanted programs like viruses, worms, Trojan horse, all these. So some corrupted programs or virus authors write malware and then test it to ensure it can deliver or payload. What is payload? Payload is a destructive event or a program that will deliver the unwanted things. So basically, how can malware come in our computer? So many sources can be there. For example, by opening an infected file, that can be an email, that can be through any another program. Next point is when a user runs an infected program. Like already we have discussed, some programs can also contain virus. So if we are opening that type of file, our computer can get affected by the malware. The next is when a user boots the computer with infected CD or pen drive. Already we have discussed, if we are using any pen drive or CD on our computer, we have exchanged the data from our friend or any family member. If that pen drive or CD is containing virus, then virus can come on our computer also. When a user connects an unprotected computer to a network, because it's not that we are using standalone computers like different computers, we can be a part of a network also. In network, so many computers can be connected to each other. So if we are a part of network and in any of computer is containing virus in that network, so our computer can also get affected. Then downloading an infected file from the internet, like downloading games and all these things, some hidden programs can be there, they can also come on our computer. Then symptoms of malware or virus. So what are the symptoms of malware or virus? So while using your computer, sometimes you can see some of these symptoms, so you can easily identify whether your computer is containing any malware or not. So these symptoms are computer runs much slower than usual. Sometimes our computer speeds get slower, so we can identify there is some problem. Second point is memory of computer becomes less than expected. So sometimes we can see we are not having so much data, but still our computer is showing not so much space. So that thing can be there. That can be due to worms also, because they replicate themselves. Next is files becomes corrupted, because sometimes if any program containing the virus and we are opening the file of that particular program, so that file can be corrupted. Next is screen displays unusual message or image. Sometimes we can see some types of messages like our computer is getting slower or and some problem is there, so that message can be there. Music or unusual sound plays randomly, so that sound can come from CPU also or any another source. Existing programs and files disappear. Sometimes we are seeing the file, they disappear in front of our eyes also, so we can see that thing also. Programs or files do not work properly, like it is taking so much time to open any program, so those things can be there. Unknown programs or files mysteriously appear, so that I told you we are seeing and sudden of it is getting disappear. System properties change, like any type of property can be changed. Next is effects of malwares or viruses. So if we are having some malware or virus in our computer, what it can do with our computer? So it can damage or rename the important files. It can damage or destroy the operating system as your Windows, or it can be any type of operating system. That can be Macintosh also, Linux also, Unix also. It can decrease the speed of the computer. I told you computer speed can be slower. It can reduce the memory or hard disk space, because some programs replicate themselves, so they will take the space in the hard disk. It can infect boot records, like boot sector virus can infect the boot records. It can infect executable files. Executable file virus can infect the executable files. Next is email virus. What is email virus? As the name indicates, the virus that is spread through the emails. It can be in the form of as an attachment, or it can be any message through the email. That is called email virus. Like continuously we are getting some message again and again, an anonymous message, that can be an email virus. So basically how the spreading of email viruses is there. Viruses spread through the emails, through the information exchange. Like how email viruses spreading. If we are getting some mail and that is containing the virus, and by chance or by mistake if we have forwarded it to another person, then it can also contain that computer can also contain the virus. Next topic is ransomware virus. So what is this ransomware virus? All of a sudden, suppose our computer or our whole computer is restricted. So someone has restricts our access, and then he is demanding for some payment to remove that restriction. That is called ransomware. So basically how this ransomware spreads? It spreads through an email attachment, or it can be through any website whatever we have visited, but it is affected from that virus, and by mistaken if we have opened that, then also it can be spread on our computer. It can also access our PC or computer via our network, because if we are a part of network, then it can be also there. If our computer has been infected with the ransomware, then the most probably won't be able to access our computer until and unless some action has to be taken. Now, how can we prevent ransomware attacks? So firstly, we have to make sure that on our PC should be updated. Our operating system, our browser should be updated. Second point, if we are using antivirus, that antivirus is also be up to date. It's not that we have used antivirus, we have to keep that up to date. So we are talking about antivirus. What basically this antivirus is? Antivirus is a program that detects the viruses and remove the viruses from our computer. It keeps our computer safe. So if we are using antivirus, we have to update that antivirus. What are the features of antivirus? Antivirus, well, some of antivirus are automatically updated features. Like if we have installed the antivirus and we are connecting to the internet, daily it will update the antivirus. Some of antivirus are that type of antivirus, like if we are installing any program or we are opening any attachment or we are using any of removable media like any pen drive or any mobile, then firstly it will scan those devices, then it will allow to download any file or exchange the file. The next feature is user should stay informed about new virus alerts and virus hoaxes, because every day new viruses are there. So antivirus will inform us about viruses alerts and virus hoax. What is this virus hoax? Virus hoax is an email message that warns users of a known existing virus or other malware. Now, how this antivirus works, or the working of antivirus. If antivirus detects any of the file that is containing the virus, it will remove that virus. It can work in two ways. Either it will remove the virus, and if because of any reason it cannot remove that virus, it will remove that file permanently. So basically it can quarantine the infected infected file, and it can remove the virus. So next topic is some of the popular antivirus software. Although all of you will be knowing all these antivirus names, so here are some: Norton Antivirus, Quick Heal, McAfee, Kaspersky, and AVG. The next topic is precautions against computer virus. It's not that we have to use antivirus, and it's that. Always while using computer or your mobile phone, if we want to protect our computer or mobile from the computer viruses, we have to keep some points in our mind. First one, do not start a computer with removable media inserted in the devices. For example, sometimes a pen drive is inserted in our CPU and we started the computer or we switch on the computer. So it's not that, we should not do this. Firstly, it should not be there, and then we have to on the CPU, then we have to put or insert the USB port or any removable device. Second point, never open an email attachment unless you are expecting the attachment from a trusted source. What do you mean by trusted source? Trusted source means you will not believe that all the emails you are receiving, those are secure and those are from the trusted source. Like you can easily identify sometimes some in another language message is there, or sometimes you can see the symptoms that it is not from a trusted source. So you should not open that file if it seems that it is not from a trusted source. Next, if a friend unexpectedly sent a message with an attachment, so do not assume that is a safe, because your friend's computer can be infected with a virus, and if it is infected with the virus, definitely your computer will also get affected. Next point is to keep your computer safe from viruses, always download software and files from trusted websites. So always trusted websites should be used. Install an antivirus program on your computer. Update the software and virus signature files regularly. Then set informed about new virus alerts and virus hoaxes. Scan all downloaded programs for viruses and other malware. So we have completed our chapter. I hope you will understand. If there is any query, then you can put your query on my personal window. Thank you. All the best.